Good morning. There's been another tragedy involving asylum seekers, putting more pressure on Kevin Rudd to act fast on boat arrivals. 4 people died when a boat capsized off Christmas Island Lake yesterday, just days after 9 asylum seekers perished when another vessel sank. And John O'Doherty is in Canberra for us this morning. John, very sad news, but we're hearing the situation could have been much worse.
Yeah, that's right, Amelia. Border protection authorities were already on the scene when the boat capsized. They'd arrived earlier in the day when the boat was in distress, but at that stage the vessel was still upright. It was only later, while the boat was being escorted to Christmas Island, that it flipped over. Now, at the time, there was a patrol aircraft flying overhead. It was able to deploy a number of life rafts into the water, and the 2 border protection boats were able to rescue people as well. Now, Home Affairs Minister Jason Clare has just held a press conference with an update on this tragedy. Let's hear what he had to say.
All of this happened in very rough conditions, sea state 4, so waves of around about 2 metres, 67 nautical miles north of Christmas Island. Our officers have rescued 144 people from the sea and recovered the bodies of 4 other people, 2 women in their late 20s, early 30s, 1 man in his 20s, and 1 man in his 30s.
Yes, certainly a lot of pressure on the government over this. John, what can we expect from Kevin Rudd and when?
Well, time is now running out for Labor to try and solve the crisis before the election. Certainly, it is going to remain a key issue up until polling day. But last night at a community cabinet meeting in Rockhampton, Kevin Rudd flagged the possibility that a policy change may be on the cards. Here's what he had to say.
I don't believe we can just assume that all of our policy settings over the last several years cannot be changed. They will need to be changed as we counter changes in our circumstances. And I've recently been in discussions with the President of Indonesia, the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and other regional leaders about this.
But meanwhile, the opposition is wasting no time blaming Kevin Rudd for the continuing boat arrivals. Here's what Tony Abbott had to say just a short time ago.
I say to Mr Rudd, face the fact that you got it wrong. Be man enough to admit that you got it wrong. You caused this problem back in August of 2008 when you put the people smugglers back in business by closing down the Pacific Solution.
And as we count down to the election, if Kevin Rudd does indeed come forward with a new asylum seeker policy, the big test for Labor will be whether the electorate does indeed think that the plan can stop deaths at sea that now we see all too often. Amelia.
It is the big issue. John, thank you for that update.